Hey folks, I'd like to share a quick demo of the new Deadline Cloud Assistant, now available on AWS Deadline Cloud. The Deadline Cloud Assistant helps your team identify and root cause rendering issues on the platform, saving you precious time on your rendering projects. To enable the Deadline Cloud Assistant, a user with console access simply needs to navigate to the Deadline Cloud console and either create a new monitor or update their monitor while selecting the Enable Deadline Cloud Assistant option. Once selected, all users in the monitor will have access to the Deadline Cloud Assistant. Now over in the monitor, we can see here, we have a job submitted, which I submitted from Blender. It's a job provided by the Blender Foundation, so shout out to them. This is a platform I've never used before, so we're going to test out the skills of the Deadline Cloud Assistant to see if it can coach me through submitting a render job. So the first thing I'm noticing here is that this job is taking a while to run, really not making any progress. So I think I might have already made a mistake in my rendering submission. So let's ask the agent, what's going on, try to help root cause why this job is taking so long to make any progress. So after submitting the prompt, the agent's going to step through a 10-step troubleshooting workflow. It's going to look at the configuration of the job. It's going to review step dependencies, for example. It's also going to jump through and look at CloudWatch logs, both task logs and worker logs, to get an understanding of resource usage, execution of the task itself, and generate a summary, which we can see here. It's quickly determined that we did not use a properly configured fleet. Our fleet was only using CPU instances when this job itself from Blender is optimized for GPU rendering. Making it very clear 100% CPU usage, just pinned CPU usage, is a problem, and this is going to take forever to render. So I'll take the assistant's advice and jump back over into the console and update our fleet to use GPU instances, and I'll resubmit the job. We'll check back in a second. So here we have our first render coming from this fleet. It looks like it's successfully rendered, but we have some frame issues or compositing issues. It looks like there's a lot of blank frames in the output. So let's jump over to the agent and ask the assistant what may be going on. So here I'm going to speed this up a little bit, but basically I'm just describing what I see, which is these blank frames. And I'm asking the agent ultimately to, tell me what's going wrong in our render job. So it's going to go back to the same 10-step troubleshooting workflow that we had talked about previously. I'm going to speed this up a bit too. It takes about 2 minutes to go through all the investigations of the full task logs and looking at the different steps for rendering, as well as the compositing step. And ultimately we'll come to the conclusion down below here in the summary that two things are potentially the issue. So there's either an issue with the composite step script itself, or there's an issue with the rendering of the PNGs for each frame, rendering only RGB and not RGBA, so no alpha channel, so no transparency. So first we'll try updating the composite step script, see if that helps. So I'll go ahead and resubmit the job with that change as recommended, and we'll see what the output looks like. And here is that second attempt. The good news is we can see all the layers now. The bad news is that the transparency is sort of consistently applied across all layers, creating quite a mess. Let's try the original assistant's recommendation of rendering with RGBA and see how that comes out. I'll check back with you when it's done. So here's the final rendering. Looks like we've got much better layer definition and a usable output. So I was able to go from having no Blender experience to submitting and rendering a successful job on Deadline Cloud with just a few iterations with the Deadline Cloud Assistant. We hope this demo shows you how Deadline Cloud Assistant can help your team solve complex rendering challenges. And we can't wait for you to try it out. Thanks.